There's a direct correlation between what you believe and the actions that you take. And when you getting over that hump to figuring out what it is that you actually believe, it creates the structure in which we operate and make decisions. And so on this episode, we're going to go over 4 money beliefs that are keeping you poor. 4 money beliefs that are prohibiting you from getting to the next level financially. See, on this channel, we help you increase your financial IQ and buy back your freedom. So let's jump directly into it. I am your host, Roberto Swift, and our first point is you despise rich people. You may be like, well, I don't despise rich people. Like, really? Like, are you trying to insult me? No, I'm not. But just hear me out for a second. Most TV shows and movies have positioned the person that has a lot of resources and a lot of money as a villain. Whether we're talking Minions or we're talking Iron Man or we're talking like Lex Luthor. All these different shows and TV shows and movies position a villain as someone that has a lot of means that's simply a jerk. Like Batman as a playboy. Like, nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be that. No one wants to emulate that. And so subconsciously it positions you to be like, I really despise rich people. And another part of it is envy. It's like you want to mock something that you don't have or something you may not understand. But the truth of the matter is you will never, ever become something intentionally that you despise. So if you're trying to move forward financially, there's a fear tactic that's involved in there in the back of your mind. Like, I don't want to become something that I hate. And so it's important to take consideration to think about what is rich people really like. Because not all people are the same either. But generally speaking, you're never going to want to become something that you despise. And so the question is, if you want to become rich or even wealthy enough to do a lot of different things that you want to do, you're going to have a block right there because it's like, I don't want to become something I despise. So the question is, do you despise rich people? And if you feel like there's something there, you got to figure out exactly what's causing that. And one situation may simply be that you're like, I don't want to become something that hurts people. But the reality is, money is required to do anything significant in life. Money is required to do a lot of different things. And if you don't personally know, like, how many rich people do you personally know? Not seen on Instagram, not seeing somebody flashing, but like actually know. And you'll find out that most rich people are not the way they're perceived on TV and in the media. In fact, a lot of rich people are willing to share how they got into that position in the first place. This is our very first episode. Like, what? Our very first episode of the Wealthy Stewards Show. Let's get it. All right. I am going to draw a picture because I like pictures and a picture says 1,000 words. All right. So to demonstrate this next point, I'm going to show you a few things. Let's check this out. If I can draw, there we go. All right. Tell me, what do these things have in common? All right. Here's the thing. That's a t-shirt, by the way. I'm not the best drawer. Okay. This right here, that kind of looks like a spoon. That's a bowl. You got a t-shirt, you got food, and you have this. Okay. T-shirt, your clothes, your food, your shelter. It all requires what? Money. All right? It all requires money. Now, you're probably watching this because you're like, okay, but what belief will cause me not to be able to go to the next level? Well, it's simple enough. A lot of people just feel like money is not important. You say, well, money is important, but do you treat it that way? Like, how are you actually treating your money? Do you treat it like it's important, or do you treat it like it's just something that you have to deal with? Because the truth of the matter is that it covers all aspects of our lives, from your family, your friends, well, your family and Friday nights. You want to have fun on Friday. Like, ooh, I want to have fun on Friday, right? So, your family, your friends, it affects your relationships, okay? It reflects your relationships. Okay? It affects your relationships. It affects what you can do and can't do. Money is not the most important thing that there is in existence. Like, it's just simply not it's not the most important thing. But it isn't an important thing. And the more you want to do, the more money is going to be required. Now, how you accumulate that money is very important. So, what you have to understand is that you have to treat money as an important thing in your life. Because if you don't treat it something that's important, guess what happened? Whoosh! Just goes back. It just goes over your head, and it goes to the wayside. And so there's different parts, like your health. All right, let's take your health for instance. Okay, it affects your health, your relationships. Okay, it affects all these different things. Okay, your health and your relationships. And so if you want to have a better life, then you have to make sure that you make this an important part of that. Because if you don't make money important, then it's not going to be important until it's right there in front of your face, And then next thing you know, bam, there's an emergency. So you want to make sure that you intentionally recognize that money is very important. It's not the most important thing there is in life, but it is a very important thing in life. And it's something you just don't want to ignore. Number 3. And so the third money belief that is keeping you from reaching that next level and keeping you poor is something that you may not think of. Drum roll, please. It is money is evil. And this is a very important one because there's this subconscious thought that money is some kind of way evil. And one reason could be out of the Bible, where it says that the love of money is the root of all evil. But money itself is not evil. See, check this out. Whatever you love more than anything else, you're going to put it on a pedestal. Okay? But money itself is a tool. It's not evil. It's neither good nor bad. Money is a tool. And the way that you use that tool, if you use it properly, then you're going to get the results that you desire. If you use a hammer improperly, it's not going to work for you. Just as if you use money improperly, it's not going to work for you. In fact, imagine trying to put together a dresser and you're using the wrong tools. In fact, you're going to waste time and it's not going to turn out very well. In addition to that, it's like when you're putting the stuff together and you're using the wrong tools, it's going to fall apart. And you're in a worse position than when you initially started. Same thing goes with money. You have to understand that it's a tool and you've used the tool properly, then what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to build a strong foundation. And not just for you, but for your children's children. You see, that's not this thing where you store up gather all these funds and stuff and you keep it to yourself. See, once you have enough money to take care of yourself personally, then what do you do next? Well, you have to spread that out. You have to plant seeds and for those seeds to grow. So money is not evil. It's a tool. And just like any tool that is used improperly, you're not going to get good results. And so don't treat it as evil. Don't regret. Like some people work really, really hard. And when they work really, really hard, they get their reward. They get funds. They get money. And when they get that money, it's like they feel guilty because they made so much of it. But you earned that. What you earned wasn't evil. In fact, it's good. And you should treat it as such. So, that's all I got to say about that. Let's move on to the next one. The fourth money belief that is keeping you poor and keeping you broke. And this is a big one. It is that money will change me. Well, here's the thing. When it comes to life, we're all constantly changing. We're either moving forward, progressing to the person that we desire to be, or we're moving away from that person that we desire to be. Like, how much, do you know if you are at the point where you're fully operating in your fullness? Or have you, a different way of saying this is, have you reached your capacity to be everything that you can possibly be? And if you don't know, then the answer is no, because this is something that you have to be sure about. And that's what growth is. Growth allows us to step into who it is that we desire to be. And so what you're doing is, when you're stepping into this place, it's requiring you to change. Now, money brings with it resources and access, but it also brings awareness. And what I'm simply saying is, if you don't have money, you're still going to change. If you have money, you're going to change. And it's up to you to make sure that it's for the better, rather than for not so good. See, as I mentioned before, money is a tool. And the people who have that money is not inherently evil. We don't know a person's intentions, but we always know their actions. And you can judge a person's actions. In fact, you should judge people's actions. How do you know if you can trust someone without looking at their actions? You would never know the intent of someone's heart, but you can judge their actions. And so money will change you, but it shouldn't be a scary thing. It shouldn't be something that you're fearful of. It shouldn't be something that causes you not to move. See, money will actually increase your capacity to do more, to be more. But it all depends on how you look at it. See, if you look at it positively, then that puts you in a place where you can affect more people's lives in a positive way. So it's actually a wonderful thing. Sure, you can say more money, more problems. But the question is this. Without money, your problems that you're dealing with are focused directly on you. But as you progress and as you have more resources available to you, guess what? You can do more for other people. It would be nice to be able to take your family out on a vacation. It'd be nice to pay your mom's medical bills. It'd be nice to do a lot of different things, but that requires money in order to do that. So, by increasing your financial IQ, you will be able to position yourself to help more people. Because let's be honest, life is not about you. It's not about me. It's about serving other people. And what you want to do is you want to use the money to serve the people. Isn't that not what churches do? They collect money and they serve people. And so if you are one of those people that can add a lot to that pot with your gifts and talents and operating in your creative space, why wouldn't you? And so when you're operating at a level where you know that you have a more capacity to do more and be more, then do that. Allow yourself to change, because it's a beautiful thing. So that's what I encourage you to do. So don't go yet. We have one more segment, which is Ask Swift. This is where I am going to answer your questions that you send to me, and I'm going to give my opinion. None of this is financial advice, but let's get it. All right. Ask Swift. I am Roberto Swift, and let's answer your question. All right. So our question is wealth a biblical concept? Yes, it is. In fact, it's such a biblical concept that it was there from the very beginning. So many people miss it. I'm not sure why, but they miss it. When Adam and Eve was in the garden, okay, they were in the garden. There were plentiful. There were gold actually there in the garden. There were so many different trees in that garden. There was wealth in that garden. There was prosperity in that garden. But the focus of the story is taken off of what was there. See, God said that you can eat from any tree. You can freely eat from any tree in the garden except for one. So Adam and Eve focused on that one thing that they lacked. They focused on lack and scarcity rather than abundance. So, is the concept of wealth in the Bible? Yes, and it was there from the very beginning. And it was there from the very beginning because they had an abundance in front of them. But they traded that abundance for lack. They switched their attention and their focus from the abundance that they had, the plenty that they had, and they switched their attention to what they lacked. And they only lacked one thing. And so when you're poor, because that's what we're talking about, our focus is on lack. When in reality, we need to focus on the abundance that we have in our lives and figuring out ways to increase that abundance. And when we increase that in abundance, it opens up more opportunities and we're able to see more opportunities and create more opportunities for other people also. And so, is wealth a biblical concept? Yes, it is. In fact, it's good. Swift out.